wanted to work with Ryan. I've been wanting to work with Ryan for years. He knows that. And so I think, you know, those are the biggest reasons, it being kind of a follow-up to a massive film, Daniel Craig and Ryan Johnson. He's the guy I would immediately hate. I would just not take to at all. I don't like those type of guys, but I knew he'd be fun to play. And he was written, you know, so, you know, in such a funny manner that I knew it was going to be a blast. Then I read through the script and I thought it was just really, really great. And it was so, it has such a strong feel, a strong connection to the first one, but it, you know, oddly enough, it's not anything like the first one. When you first meet Duke in the film, he is doing that. He's putting on this, you know, this big charade that he lives in this, you know, gorgeous mansion with these cars, and he's just living the high life, selling his supplements, and he's just not that at all. You meet him, and he's actually in a garage. It's kind of busted, and he's living at home with his mom. So like everything about him is just false. But he's trying to, you know, put on that persona that he's, you know, a successful person, just, you know, again, to make his fame and fortune. I asked Ryan if he wanted me to take a look at this person, that person, and he said no. He really wanted to, you know, he wanted Duke to be, you know, kind of have that feel, but he didn't want to dive too much into it because he wanted to make the character still be, you know, somewhat likable. It's got to have some redeeming qualities. And so I didn't model myself or my character after anyone. I just kind of, you know, read what was on page. I took direction from Ryan and kind of had fun with it, you know, and bounced off of my fellow actors. The most direction I get from directors is to speak up, because I'm a soft-spoken person. And with characters like Duke, who's a bigger personality, I just constantly had to raise my voice and be bigger than I am, and kind of be aware of that, because I want to play every character I do very subtly and very soft-spoken. It's just my nature. But sometimes I just had to come out of my shell and be very big and boisterous with Duke. So that was the thing. It's just amplify myself. I mean, that's what I did. You know, kind of Duke. He's loud and obnoxious, and he's that guy. Ed Norton, for example, who's been like one of my favorite actors for a very long time. He is such a mild-mannered person, but when he starts performing, you would think that he had like 50 cups of coffee. He is just amped up, and he's so intense. And he puts a lot of pressure on himself, because he will. I love that watching Ed, because he's so interesting. But if he feels wrong about something, he will start all over, and it's like a very intense. So there, you know, with more than a few actors on the set, there were a lot of times where us, as a cast, were just watching our peers do their thing and getting like really engaged and really wrapped up in it. And when you know, Ryan yelled cut, I mean, there was a lot of clapping going on, because that's when, like, people, especially Ed, like Ed was just so intense in his performance. It was really kind of mesmerizing to watch. You know, but then you understand why he's Ed Norton. Daniel Craig was just brilliant. And I watched him, you know, do his thing in Bond, and then watch him play Benoit Blanc. It's just such, I mean, they couldn't be on any more opposite ends of the spectrum as far as characters go. But to see him perform as Benoit Blanc so effortlessly is just, I mean, it's kind of mind-blowing. Madeline was, she was amazing to work with. She was sweet, and she was, and we buddied it up a lot, and we chopped it up a lot, and just kind of talked about everything other than work. And because she got into this business a really, you know, in a really cool manner. I don't think she, you know, set out to be a movie star. I don't think she set out to be. I think she just was interested. She fell in love with it, and she pursued it, which is kind of what I did. By mistake, you know, by accident, I stumbled into it, and I just became obsessed with it. And so, again, I'm just really curious to see where her career goes. We're in a very contained setting, so not only did we get to perform together, but we also had a lot of time to socialize. And that's what I love the most, is because when you really get to know people, and again, you know, kind of feel comfortable with them, and it just, I feel like we all start to click and start to collaborate, and that's when the real chemistry comes out. What I do love about Ryan is he runs a no-pressure set. There's absolutely zero pressure. He makes you feel completely comfortable. There's a lot of laughs to be had. And I've never seen Ryan in anything other than a just really pleasant mood. And so it just, you know, it starts from the top and it trickles down. And if your director is a great guy and he's in a good mood, and it just, you know, it bleeds off, and everybody's in a good mood and having fun. So I think that's it more than anything. Ryan he's just fun to work with. My favorite scenes on this film were scenes that were not necessarily focused on Duke, and I think the reason they were my favorite is because I got to watch other actors work, You know, everybody's just so interesting, so talented in this film. Everything that Jess Henwick does, it's interesting. She has a particular way of just stealing moments. And I think she's aware of it. I think she knows that's a strength of hers. But if she's not, you know, speaking in the scene, if she's just kind of background in the scene, she will find a way to make you look at her because she's just an interesting performer. And she has all these little quirky things that she does in the film that I think people, you know, their eyes will be drawn towards her.